Team NECA, welcome, hello one and all, whoever you are and wherever you are. It is Monday, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for NECA Live. Honestly, you have no idea how many times I wake up in the middle of the night hearing that music. It should be the perfect ringtone. Hello everyone and welcome to NECA Live. This is the weekly talk show where we bring you the latest and the greatest of the National Electrical Contractors Association. We are still here enjoying the aftermath of NECA Convention. And if you were there with us, let us know in the comment what your favourite parts were. What a wonderful opportunity it was to see us all in the flesh in Nashville at a record-breaking convention. It was lovely to have some face-to-face time with you. And as you know, there is still a little longer to access the hybrid and the virtual content from this year's event. So if you were there in person, I want to remind you there is some virtual exclusive content that you've got the opportunity to enjoy. Interviews with some of the great thought leaders in the industry. You don't want to miss it. All you need to do is go to necalive2021.necanet.org, log in and check out everything that you missed. It is such a phenomenal way to make sure that you elongate the learning from what was a phenomenal event. I realise, don't get me wrong, face-to-face, in person is always best, but no one does a virtual event quite like NECA, so don't miss a second. And today, we are also turning our focus to another world-class event that is just around the corner, the first ever in-person NECA Safety Leadership Summit. This is taking place next week, so it is just coming up upon us, November 1 through 3 in Chicago, Illinois. It will cover the latest news in safety, a focus on leadership, and crucially, a session on OSHA's COVID-19 emergency temporary standard. I know this is top of mind for many of you. Virtually everyone that I bumped into in Nashville was telling me how important it was that you kept across the detail. And when you need detail, you come to us here at NECA. So here to discuss all this and more are Wes Wheeler, NECA's Director of Safety, and Mike Starner, NECA's Director of Outside Line Safety. A big hello to both of you. Welcome to NECA Live. Guys, it almost feels weird now seeing you like flat on the screen because we've been in person. Wes, how did you enjoy convention?
I had a great time, and just being back in person and being able to interact with our members face to face, you could tell that everybody was really excited about that opportunity. I mean, and I'm glad that we didn't have to put it off and postpone it because it was so important to see the smiles on their face and have the conversations.
Now, Mike, don't get me wrong, virtual is fantastic. It's been a really good stopgap, and NECA are never going to stop doing it because our members really love it. But nothing quite beats pressing the flesh.
Yeah, you're right. And, that was my first convention. So just seeing all the legwork that takes place behind the scenes to make sure we have a really good show and a lot of value for our members. Fantastic opportunity.
It is a huge operation. So let's start to talk about the next event, though. So Wes, this is the first time that NECA is holding an in-person Safety Leadership Summit. So what was the genesis of the event, and why is now the right time to bring all of these leaders together from around the industry?
David, I think that when you think about the recent event and the fact that everybody really wanted to be face-to-face, this gives NECA Safety and NECA a chance to really bring the safety professionals together and give them an opportunity to learn more about leadership and how they can lead safety within an organization. When Jeff Fagan, our Vice President for Risk Management and General Counsel, came on board and we really started to expand our risk management programs, it really kind of coincides with the leadership training that NECA is doing for even the staff in-house, and then providing some leadership training outside. So this is a perfect opportunity to really bring the safety professionals, those that are responsible for safety, into a room and have some face-to-face conversations. I mean, it's, like you said, we can't beat that interaction between our members and our staff, and really looking forward to it. And it was born out of really a need. We need to be able to communicate face to face, and that's really what we're here for.
And it really is true that safety has always been such a number one priority for NECA, because it's not just about staying safe today, it's about protecting our people, our industry, our sector, and our community. And Mike, let's discuss some of the keynotes happening at the conference, because no one does keynotes really better than NECA. You're always thinking big and different and taking innovative approaches to bring fresh voices to the stage. Can you take us through some of the highlights and what some people in the industry might get out of attending?
Oh yeah, we've got some great speakers lined up, some inspirational thought leaders for sure. We've got Jake Harriman, who's a former Marine. He's had 4 tours of duty. He's got a lot of experience in that area about seeing some problems and how to deal with those problems, and focusing around safety and operational leadership, risk management. So his talk is really going to touch on developing new solutions to old problems. And of course, we've got John Drevinger, who is a renowned safety motivational speaker. He's going to provide us with some tools to influence and empower our people with workplace safety. And really, the headliner is the Eric Kahn and Eric Gell with Kahn Masil Carey Law Group. They're going to walk us through the ETS COVID standard and get us some information, because it looks to us like the timing is going to be just about perfect for us to have some really good information to share with our folks.
It's so true, isn't it? It feels like you couldn't have planned this better from a calendar point of view to make sure that it was fresh and ready to share. And Wes, there'll also be chances to network, including a trade show right there for attendees to interact with some of the best solution providers in the world. And of course, an after party sponsored by our friends at Milwaukee Tool. So tell us a little bit about all of the fun stuff that's happening.
Well, to build on really the excitement we had at the exhibitor show at the NECA convention, I mean, when you look at some of our vendors that are dedicated to safety and providing some leadership in safety products and safety training and innovative solutions, it really is, a key fit for us to bring our exhibitors in once again and let them interact with the safety professionals that are going to be in attendance. I mean, when you look at the success that we've had in building these relationships over the years with our premier partners, our ambassador partners, our associate partners, people that's really been a part of this industry and helped us to grow and helped us to manage safety. We want to be able to have them interact with our members in this opportunity. And you're right. I mean, when it comes to the after party, sponsored by Milwaukee, I mean, we've got a great opportunity to get together, to bowl, to eat, to drink, to have a great social event. And I think you said it earlier. I mean, NECA knows how to party. NECA knows how to have a social event to people to relax and really kind of let their guard down and have some conversations, because we know that that's where the majority of the work gets done, in those conversations between one-on-one and people. But I also want to say, hey, don't forget, we have an after party on Monday night, but there's also going to be an after party Tuesday night sponsored by Empower in Chicago. So, we want to make sure that everybody that's going to be in attendance knows that we've got something for everyone, and look forward to seeing you there in Chicago.
And Chicago is a heck of a place for a party. I will not tell you how devastated I was when convention couldn't happen in Chicago. So I know the Chicago chapter is coiled and ready to receive us. So get yourselves ready for an amazing time. Now, Mike, I know that the outside line has become increasingly a frontline priority and top of the agenda. In everything that we're doing at NECA, you can see it much more visibly represented in all of our trade show. We've covered the outside line a lot here on NECA Live. How will it be represented at the Safety Summit?
Well, when we talk about the theme of the summit, we're looking at risk management and how to prevent loss. So in a lot of ways, all of the subjects are going to be worthwhile for the outside line folks. But we do have some, more targeted topics. So we're going to have Matt Comfort with Quanta. He's going to talk to us about a program they have on building capacity and helping avoid incidents through planning and prevention. We're going to have a discussion with myself on the OSHA Strategic Partnerships Safety Leadership in Action program, just an overview. And we're also going to set some time aside for outside line contractors to come in before that meeting and just really talk about some things, free form, to have conversations about what's going on, what do they want NECA to act on, what's some concerns that they have that sort of one-on-one opportunity with me. So I would say there's a lot of opportunities for outside. Come down and check it out, and I think you'll walk away with a lot of good information.
Sure thing. And of course, the big hot topic in the world of safety and risk at the moment is OSHA's emergency temporary standard concerning COVID-19 vaccinations. Tell us a little bit about why this is being addressed so prominently and so accessibly at the Safety Leadership Summit, Mike.
Well, we've seen some regulation affecting the healthcare industry, and we know that the executive order came out and kind of laid out for private industry, but also for government contracts and that kind of thing. So it touches a lot of folks. The one that's pending, right, is for private industry, and so we want to know, how's that going to impact our membership and just the industry in general. So whether we're talking about vaccinations statuses or testing and those kinds of things. We want to get this information out in front of our membership as soon as possible. And like we talked about before, the timing is going to be hopefully just about right to see some language that we can put out for our folks.
Obviously, Wes, it's just about making sure that our members are informed, isn't it?
Well, it really is. I mean, and one of the things that, in recent months, we've looked to Conmacial because they're a law firm that's really heavily involved with OSHA and locally in the Small Business Administration. And really, they've been heavily involved in communications with the department on what this emergency temporary standard is going to look like. And when we say that, it's going to start impacting some of our larger employers that have over 100 persons or more, and what those requirements are going to be, we just want to make sure that whatever is proposed and whatever is actually released is not going to be an undue burden. And Eric Kahn and Eric Gelb, as Mike said earlier, they're going to be there to really provide us the latest. They had meetings during the past week as far as when, OSHA got together with OMB and OIRA, the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs. So they really had some one-on-one conversations, and we're able to share the concerns that NECA had about this impending emergency temporary standard. So we're really, we're thankful for that. And, if this drops this week, we'll have the people that were there, monitoring it to give us the latest and greatest information. So, I mean, we really encourage people to be there. And if as we said earlier, if you can't be there in person, there's an opportunity that, maybe later on you can do the hybrid event and actually catch this. But NECA will be, presenting this information as quickly as possible as soon as it hits the streets.
And it's that cutting edge, making sure that as the information is updated, as it is released, I think it's just the best way for NECA members to get it in a way that makes sense to them. Mike, what other pieces of this standard are expected to impact employers in our industry? Because for busy NECA members out there, it looks pretty complex from the outside.
Yeah, so we're focusing a lot on the vaccination status, but we're also concerned about the testing requirements, who's going to pay for the testing, time off for testing, that kind of thing. So there's a financial burden associated with that. So we want to kind of understand that. There's been a change in leadership in OSHA. So what impact or influence is that going to have on the final rule, and just see kind of see how this thing shakes out. So there's a lot to pay attention to. So if you have some concerns, which I'm sure all our membership does, certainly want to make sure you attend this meeting and hear what has to be said.
I think, isn't it our job, Wes, to try and make this as simple as possible for our members to stay safe?
Well, it really is. I mean, and that's really what we're charged with here at NECA Safety, is to really assist them with their programs. When they have concerns, they have questions, and keep them abreast of the latest, developments that's going on. I mean, we work with government affairs here at NECA to make sure that whatever's going through the Hill, whatever's going through Congress, that we know what's in the bills and how that's going to impact our members. We really want to make sure that we have the latest and greatest information to share so they'll be prepared. We don't want any surprises. We don't want anybody caught, off their feet, and end up having to have something that's going to directly impact their ability to do business. I mean, we're here to assist. And I think that's really a key aspect of why we're here, why Mike and I do what we do for NECA, and why NECA sees it as such an important topic.
You know, Mike, do you ever sit back and think about what an impact you're making in the industry? And, you know, I think it's easy to underestimate how central a role NECA plays in not just protecting individuals, but protecting organizations, communities, societies. And I know you guys take it really seriously. For you guys, safety really is personal.
Yeah, what's interesting is when my first safety job, my predecessor sat me down and said, you got to be real careful when you start to pick and choose what part of your safety program you're going to do without, because you don't know what piece is the magic, the silver bullet that's preventing the next event. So it's a comprehensive thing, right? It's all the different little pieces that work together to make sure that you're keeping your people safe. So to me, that's what the job is, and that's what this group does. Wes, myself, Mike Johnston, and Aga Gorez, we work together to make sure that we have safety and prevention in mind along the way.
So, Wes, there's a huge amount of work going into this event. You must be so excited to see it finally coming to fruition. Apart from anything else, the parties sound fantastic. What final words would you have, Wes, for anyone who's on the fence, maybe not sure if it's a good fit for them? Why should they make the time in their diary?
Well, I think that this is just probably one of the best opportunities that you have to hear from, our keynote speakers. We have Jake Harriman as far as, really leadership training and leadership teaching. We've got, John Drebinger, as Mike said earlier, safety for effective leaders. We want to make sure that this is a perfect opportunity for you to get a well-rounded look at the risk management, the safety issues that face each and every one of our members, regardless of whether they're a small company, a medium-sized company, or a large employer, that has 30,000 employees. All the safety issues are the same. It may be exponentially larger for some of our, large contractors and the impact, but still safety is safety. And, to Mike's point, one of the things that we enjoy here, I mean, we're going to leave a lasting impression to the people that we meet, and hopefully change the culture that they have so that they actually value safety, and safety is a core value. Because when you look at what NECA said as far as our shared responsibilities for our members, our employees, our public, our families, safety is a core value within this organization. And I think David Long, Jeff Fagan, Mike Johnston, Aga Gorwitz, Mike Starner, myself, and Caitlin Memnall will attest to that. So with that being said, I know that we've had a great discussion here today. And David, I can't say thank you enough for all that you do for NECA and all that you've really assisted all of us with in getting the message out.
Oh, well, that's kind of you, Wes. I appreciate it. I can assure you, you're not getting rid of me. I'm going to be at conventions for the next 50 years. The only way that I'm going to leave NECA is in a box. I am committed. I am weeks away from getting a NECA tattoo. I promise you. So look, Mike and Wes, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. I know you've got some finishing touches to put on the event, so I'll let you get to it, and I'll wish you all the best in Chicago.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much. And of course, thanks to every single one of you. And remember, it is not too late for you to register to attend the NECA Safety Leadership Summit. It is an amazing opportunity for you to make sure that you and your team are staying safe and sound. So, and by the way, any excuse to go to Chicago, why on earth wouldn't you? All you need to do is go to NECASafetyConference.com and make your plans to get there and stay on the cutting edge of safety, leadership, and risk management. We will see you back here really soon for another episode of NECA Live. But for the time being, take care, be good, and I'll see you soon, everyone.